Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TV Ramble for January 13th. I said I would have all the overnight numbers from last night, and here we are. Um, Very good night for TV. Let's look at the overnight ratings for the networks. Most of it probably took a little bit of a dip because there was a certain football game on last night for the national championship for college football. I'm sure that ate away at some of the audience, and people said, forget network TV and let's go and watch football on cable. But anyway, still, here are the overnight ratings for last night. 7 point for total million viewers, 7.2 million viewers for CBS, followed by ABC with 6.5 million viewers, followed by NBC with 5.5 million viewers, um, and then Fox with 2.2. So yeah, pretty bad night. But of course, all the eyes were on the college football national championship game between Oregon and Ohio State, which Ohio State won 42-20. The game was very close about the first half, but by the second half, everything tailed off just a little bit, and Ohio State took over. And for those ratings right now, if we're just looking at them right now, 18.5 overnight ratings. So I would guess about 32, maybe 33 million viewers tuned in to watch that game, which is amazing for cable TV. Yes, cable TV, cable TV, which watched the game last night, and so this was huge for ESPN, huge for college football. So we'll see, what goes on from this point on. But I think if they decide to expand it, which I hope they don't, but more money, of course, for the committee, more money for college football, for those advertisers who want to jump on board, and of course for the schools. But I think the 14 playoff thing kind of worked out just perfectly. Again, the regular season in college football has always been important, but now is even more important with the playoff element added to it. So, as you saw for both the Rose Bowl and Sugar Bowl, around 28 million viewers for both games, and this game getting around close to 32 million viewers. So, what more needs to be said? I mean, it's a win-win for everybody, win-win for all parties involved. So, anyway, uh, overall, so tonight, looking at what's going on in the networks, you got Shark Tank, which is making a very surprise. Usually, a show that's be on Fridays on ABC, but they're making a very rare Tuesday night appearance, followed by Marvel Agent Carter, which is trying to give the show a little more support right now. Usually, Marvel's Agent, the Shield show, Marvel Agent Shield, usually be on during that time period, and of course, you have on during the 8 o'clock hour or 9 o'clock hour if you live on the Eastern time zone. So a little more support for that show, and then of course you have Forever, which would be on at 9 Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern. Also, CBS, you have NCIS, you have NCIS New Orleans, you also have Person of Interest. Good solid block. I think usually Tuesday nights CBS kind of does well on that time slot. Parks and Recreation. This is the final season, final year of the show. They have two back-to-back episodes, followed by About a Boy. I mean, excuse me, Marry Me and About a Boy. Marry Me, I believe that's going to get canceled. Don't think there's really much interest on that show. The premise, I've watched one episode. I'm like, whatever. It seems like your typical sitcom. So we'll see if NBC decides to hold on to that. Then Chicago Fire, About a Boy, then Chicago Fire, which is become that show as well. Chicago PD has become, huge surprises uh, for NBC. Of course, the genius that is Dick Wolf behind the Law and Order franchise you know, has hit a home run with both shows. So, go on from there. So then on Fox, you got Master Chef, you got New Girl, and you got the Mini Project, and So that's pretty much your programming for the night on NBC on the network. Excuse me. Master Chef has been renewed for a fourth season on Fox. So it's a cute little show. I like it. You know, young cooks trying to aspire to become, become big time chefs, making recipes that most sous chefs or four-star chefs would usually make. So it's a good show and a kind of good motivational show and a good show. Kind of give kids hey guys, you can aspire to be anything you want: doctor, lawyer, a chef, truck driver, whatever it is. Just inspire to be good at it. And I find that show very entertaining, very fun to see these young kids, these young little boys and little girls, doing what they do, loving to cook. So you got to give credit to that. Also, the other big news going on television, you have see Empire again, the success of Empire. More than likely, after the first airing of the show, more than likely Fox will renew that show. Why not? Great script, great drama. You have two great actors. I mentioned Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson, and of course you have the genius behind it, Lee Daniels, and several other producers who are behind it. So I think the show is going to more likely be renewed, but I'm hoping that Fox do the right thing, keep the show, air it mid-season. Don't air it during the fall. Mid-season will be perfect. Give the show something, a little bit of energy, and I think having that block behind American Idol is going to give my American Idol a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of an interest into it. So also going on, you also see that the CSI show, as I mentioned, it seems time the show is gonna more than likely gonna be gone before you know it. I mean, ratings of the show have not really been good for the last season. I think, of course, you have the spinoff that's going to be with Patricia Arquette coming up. You hate to see it. I've been it was a huge fan of the show, but when it's time to pack it in, and it's been going on since 2001. That's almost 11, 12 years now. 13 years the show has been ongoing on the air. So what more can be done. Ted Danson and also Elizabeth Shue has given the show a little bit of energy when they came on the show, but now it seems obvious that it's time to pack it up, move on, and do some you know and you hate to say it, William Peterson and the original cast members really gave the show a really little interest and excitement, and really kind of really exposed to what things go on within crime labs, using sort of forensics and different sciences to solve crimes. I think was very ingenious, and again, it's been a great show. I love that. I like that show as well as CSI Miami, CSI New York. But obviously, we know it was time to say, "Hey, thank you for the memories, but time to say bye bye." Also, going on, Revenge, another show, again, has lost a lot of its audience since it's moved to Sunday. Obviously, helped the competition with Thursday with Sunday Night Football on NBC. It pretty much seems that it's another show that it's also going to be going out the window again. The ratings this past Sunday finished about close to a maybe I think a 5 rating, excuse me, and that was not good. Even though it was a new episode, and yes, you had the Golden Globes up against it, but it seems that ABC is going to say, "Hey, listen, thank you. You've been on for 4 years now, almost 3.5, 4 years. We appreciate it, but it's time to say sayonara." And when numbers are beginning to dip a little bit, it's time to move up. But my thing with these networks is, if you're going to have competition from football and professional, particularly on NBC, and again, it was the number one rated program, Sunday Night Football, once again this year. Once the numbers come out come May, it will be show once again. Sunday Night Football is the number one show on primetime television. Why put these shows on during the middle of during the fall? My feeling is I know you want alternative programming, but listen, just if this is your hit shows, just place it in a time when you don't have to compete with sports, whether it be May whether it be in January, February, whatever it is. Just put those shows on during that time when you're going to have an audience. Because sports fans like myself, I'm going to be watching professional football on Sunday night, and I usually do. I'll flip between back and forth between other shows, but I'm usually watching the certain big game of the week, and that's what I'm watching. So I say for these networks, put these shows on. If you know you're going to be up against a monstrosity, a juggernaut, that is, whether it be professional football, whether it be a certain show, American Idol, whether it be this or that, just put these shows on a certain time when you know you're going to get a better audience. Don't try to wing it. Don't try to even push it, force it, I say. So, also, you're also going to see, again, the NFL playoffs. Of course, you have coming up this coming Sunday. You have the both championship games coming up. ABC, excuse me, on Fox and CBS. Fox will have the early slot. CBS will get the late night slot, which will help their freshman show Scorpion once the game ends between the Patriots and the Colts, which I kind of feel the Patriots are going to win that game handily. But that will be the late slot. So obviously that show is going to get a enormous eyeballs tuning in to see that, and it's kind of good. I'm a big fan of Kathy McPhee. I like Patrick Stewart, not Patrick Stewart, excuse me, um, the actor Robert Patrick, I should say, from the Terminator films and of course the Sopranos. I'm a big fan of his. He's on Scorpion, so I'm really hoping the show gets enough eyeballs. And of course they've done this before with The Mentalist, Hawaii Five O. You name it, any show with as aired during that time slot has gotten significant eyeballs from it. So we'll see what happens there on Sunday. So uh, that is pretty much it for the TV Ramble. I will try to have more overnight numbers for you, and anything else pops up, I will let you know immediately as I can. So thank you for watching, and keep watching TV.